Hi, in this video, we are going to talk about solving linear equations in one variable. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to correctly solve linear equations in one variable and accurately solve word problems involving linear equations in one variable. So what is a linear equation in one variable? So it is a mathematical sentence written in the form ax plus b equals 0. Again, it's in the form ax plus b equals 0, where a and b are real numbers, meaning yung a natin dito stands for any real number. Pwede siyang whole number, pwedeng integer, pwede siyang decimals, pwedeng fraction. So, real numbers, a and b. Where yung a natin dito, it's a real number but it cannot be equal to 0. So, hindi siya pwedeng 0 ito. Kasi kung magzi-0 ang a, mawawala din ang x. So, wala na tayong variable. Okay? So, linear equation tayo in one variable. So, ang x naman natin, itong x natin, this is our variable. Okay? This is our variable here. This could be represented by any letter. Okay? This could be represented by any letter. Examples ng linear equation, we have 2x plus 1 equals 7. Note here that our a here is 2 and here is our b, ano? So, yung sa linear equation talaga, yung a at saka yung b, they are constant. They are numbers, ano? Real numbers yan. So, ang variable lang talaga natin ay isa. Okay, so we have here, in this case, we have x. Dito naman, ang variable natin ay si b. Okay? So, our a is 3 here. Our a is 3. So, these are examples of linear equations in one variable. Notice we have one variable x, we have one variable b. So, let us understand first the properties of equality. Okay, so kailangan natin itong maintindihan para magiging madali sa atin kung paano yung pag-solve ng linear equation in one variable. So una, properties of equality, we have reflexive property of equality. So for any real number a, b, and c, the following properties are true. So number 1, reflexive property of equality. When we say reflexive, para siyang nananalamin lang, no? We have a equals a. So, equal siya sa sarili niya. Example, yung 3 is equal to itself. So, 3 is equal to 3. Yung negative x, it's equal to negative x. Okay, that's reflexive property. Parang nananalamin lang. Next, we have the symmetric property of equality. Symmetric property of equality. It states that if a equals b, then b equals a. Again, if A equals B, then B equals A. So, pwede siyang baliktarin natin, ano? Pwede siyang baliktarin because of the equality symbol. Because of the equality symbol. Example, if A equals 7, then we can also say that 7 equals A. So, binaliktad lang siya. So, the baliktad is also true. Okay? A equals 7, 7 equals A. So, pwedeng baliktad because of the equality symbol, equal sign. Next example, we have if 2 plus y equals 8, then we can also say that 8 equals 2 plus y. So, that's symmetric property of equality. Next, we have the transitive property of equality. Transitive property. Transition. Okay? Transition. So, if A equals B and then B equals C, then A is equal to C. Saan ba dumaan si C? Kasi ganito yan. Transition, ano? Transitive property of equality. Kung si A daw ay equal kay B, tapos si B naman ay equals kay C. Okay? So, therefore, we can say that A is equal to C. Kasi pareho naman silang equal kay B. Right? So, let's have an example to understand it better. First example, if P equals Q, and then si Q ay equal kay 5, then we can say that P is equal to 5. Another example, if 2 equals X plus Y, and then X plus Y is equal to Z, Then we can say that 2 is equal to C. Remember, x plus y, and then x plus y, and then we have 2 equals Z. We have here P equals Q, and then CQ is equal to 5. So we can say P is equal to 5. That's transitive property of equality. Next one, we have the substitution property of equality. Ito, kailangan natin siya in solving linear equation and also in evaluating algebraic expression. So, substitution property of equality. So, we have if A equals B plus C and B equals K, then A equals K plus C for any real number K. Ano ba yan? So, originally, we have B dito. Okay? So, original equation natin. And then, ang sabi, si B daw ay equal kay K. B is equal to K. So, therefore, pwede nating palitan si B ng K. So, si B dito, pinalitan natin ng K. And that is substitution. Okay? Substitution. Parang basketball lang, ano. Papalitan yung player kapag pagod na. Okay? So, si B dito, dahil equal siya kay K, papalitin natin yung B ng K. And so, magiging ano na siya, A equals K plus C. Okay? Napalitan na si B ng K. Let's have examples. If x plus y equals 4 and x equals 3, then 3 plus y equals 4. Anong nangyari? Notice here that we have two variables already, x and y. How can I solve this? So, gawin nating isa. Ang given, sabi dito, additional given, x equals 3. X equals 3. So, palitan natin si x ng 3. Substitution. So, si x dito, magiging 3. So, that is why we have 3 plus y equals 4. So, this is now an equation, linear equation in one variable. So, si y na lang yung variable. Okay? Kasi ginamitan natin ng substitution. Let's have another example. If u equals 2 plus v and v equals negative 6, then u equals 2 minus 6. We have here two variables, u and v, pero ang sabi si v daw ay equal kay negative 6. So, magsisubstitution tayo. Papalitan natin si v dito ng negative 6. So, naging 2 minus 6. Notice, isa na lang yung variable, si u na lang. Okay, so that's substitution property of equality. Next property of equality is the addition property of equality, or APE, or APE. Ano? Yung mga ninuno natin. APE. Ninyo pala, ninyo. Addition property of equality. It states that if A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. Paano ba yan? Ang sabi ng addition property of equality, if we have an original equation A equals B, then kung mag-a-add tayo or magsasubtract ng number kay A, if we add something here that's plus C, then we must also add that same number sa right side ng equation. Okay? Kung nag-add ka dito ng C, mag-a-add ka rin dito ng C. So, that is why we have A plus C equals B plus C. That is maintaining the balance, no? Maintaining the equation. So, equal pa rin ang value. Kahit na mag-add ka dito, mag-a-add ka rin dito para equal sila. Para lang yung ano, no? Parang kambal, diba? Whatever you give to one of them, you must also give it to the other one. Para balance sila, para fair. So, that's addition property of equality. So, kahit na mag-a-add ka dito or mag-subtract ka dito, the same yung isa-subtract mo dito sa right side ng equation para maging balance sila. Example, if y equals 8, then y minus 2 equals 8 minus 2. Meaning, kung nag-subtract ka ng negative 2 dito, or kung nag-add ka ng negative 2, or kung nag-subtract ka ng 2, the same thing. Gagawin mo rin yan dito sa kabila. Okay? That's maintaining the equality, you know. So, minus 2 ka rin dito. So, we have y minus 2 equals 8 minus 2. Next, we have if x plus 1 equals 3, then x plus 1 minus 1 is equal to 3 minus 1. Again, nag-add, we have here x plus 1, ano? Nag-minus 1 tayo dito, minus 1. So, therefore, magma-minus 1 din tayo dito sa kabila. And so, the resulting equation is x plus 1 minus 1 equals 3 minus 1. Again, that's the addition property of equality. This applies to both addition and subtraction. Right. Next, we have the multiplication property of equality, or MPE. Multiplication property of equality. If A equals B, then A times C is equal to B times C. Pareho lang siya ng addition property of equality, ano? Pareho lang siya ng APE. Kaya lang, this time, multiplication na siya. Hindi na siya addition. Okay? It simply states that whatever you multiply here, or you divide here, o ang dito sa left side ng equation, gagawin mo rin siya dito sa right side ng equation. Kung nag-multiply ka dito ng C, mag-multiply ka rin dito ng C. Kaya, A times C equals B times C. Kung mag-divide ka dito ng C, magdi-divide ka rin dito sa kabila ng C. Okay? So, that's multiplication property of equality. Examples. If Z equals 4, then 2Z equals 4 times 2. If Z equals 4, then 2Z equals 4 times 2. So, we have here Z and 4. Nag-multiply tayo ng 2 dito, kaya naging 2Z. So, kung nag-multiply tayo dito ng 2, mag-multiply din tayo dito ng 2, kaya naging 4 times 2. Okay? Dito naman sa letter B, if 3P equals 6, then 3P times 1/3 is equal to 6 times 1/3. So, take note, we multiplied 1/3 to both sides of the equation. That's maintaining the balance. Okay? Ito naman, multiplying fractions, yung 1/3, 1/3. Para lang din niyang nag-divide tayo, ano? So, the other way of writing this is 3P equals 6. Kung mag-divide tayo dito ng 3, magdi-divide din tayo dito ng 3. Okay? Pareho lang yan sila. Right? So, that's multiplication property of equality. Let's try this. Solve the equation 5x plus 4 equals negative 16. Now, this is solving linear equation in one variable. So, we have here one variable. Pag nagsusolve tayo ng ganito, ang goal natin is to get the value of x. Ano ba yung value ng x? What number does it stand for? Para maging true ang equation. And so, with that, ang first na gagawin natin, ang gagawin talaga natin is lahat ng walang variable, lahat ng mga numbers, ililipat natin dito sa right side ng equation. And then yung maiiwan dito sa left side ng equation, dapat si x na lang. Okay, paano ba gagawin yan? We have 5x plus 4 equals negative 16. Sinulat ko lang siya, no? So, si 4, dapat mawala siya dito. Dapat malipat siya dito sa kabila. And they call that transposing, ano? Parang i-transfer si positive 4 dun sa kabila. And yung technique na ginagawa nila, yung technique dyan is, kapag ka-positive siya dito, kapag na-transpose siya dito sa kabilang side, magiging negative na siya. Vice versa, if negative dito, pag transfer dito sa kabila, magiging positive. Okay? But that's actually applying the addition property of equality. Okay? Actually, yung transposing, okay, that's just the application of the addition property of equality. So, dahil gusto nating mag-zero ito, magsa-subtract tayo ng 4. And dahil nag-subtract tayo ng 4, addition property, magsa-subtract din tayo dito ng 4. And ito magiging 0, kaya we have 5x equals, we have negative 16 minus 4 na siya. Kaya, yung sabi nilang transpose is yung positive nagiging negative. So, we have 5x equals negative 16 minus 4. So, we solve this part right here. So that becomes 5x equals, pareho sila ng signs, like signs. So we copy the common sign and then we add. So 16 plus 4, that's 20. So we have negative 20. And so we have here 5x equals negative 20. Take note yung sabi ko kanina, our main goal is to isolate the variable here. So dapat x lang ang maiiwan dito sa left side ng equation. Meaning, we don't need 5 here. So kailangan matanggal natin si 5 dito. And in this case, 5x. So this is 5 times x. Ano? So in order to remove 5 here, we need to divide 5. Okay? To both sides. So magdi-divide tayo ng 5. Actually, it's multiplying, applying the multiplication property of equality. It's like multiplying 1/5. Pero di ba sabi ko kanina, yung multiplication of 1/5, it's just equal to saying dividing 5 to both sides. So it's like divide 5 here, and we also have to divide 5 to the other side of the equation para balance sila. And so, cancelled na itong 5 kasi 5 divided by 5 is 1. So, magiging x na lang ang naiwan. And so, we have negative 20 divided by 5. So, negative ang isa. So, yung sagot is negative. So, 20 divided by 5, that is 4. So, x equals negative 4. So, this is now the value of x. So, eto na yung sagot. Then, we check if our answer is correct. So, let's do the checking. Checking, we have x equals negative 4. So, we go back to the original equation. So, 5x plus 4 equals negative 16. Ngayon, let's apply the substitution property. So, magsa-substitute tayo ng negative 4 dito sa x. So, that becomes 5x, meaning 5 times x. So, that's 5 times negative 4 plus 4, is it really equal to negative 16? Okay? And so that is 5 times negative 4, that is negative 20. Okay? Plus 4, is it equal to negative 16? Okay? Sulat ko lang siya dito, yung magiging sagot. Dito ko na lang i-continue. So, we have negative 20 plus 4. Unlike signs, diba? So, we copy the sign of the greater number, which is 20, negative. So, negative ang sagot. And then, we subtract. 20 minus 4 is 16. Okay? Is equal to negative 16. So, tama. Okay? Equal nga sila. So, our answer is correct because we have a true equation here. Negative 16 is really equal to negative 16. It's correct. So, therefore, our answer, which is x equals negative 4, is also correct. Next, let's have example number 2. We have find the solution. Okay, find the solution of the equation 2 times 4a minus 8 equals 24. Notice here, we have parentheses. And then, wala namang plus or minus sign dito sa in-between ng 2 at saka yung parentheses. So, it means multiplication. And so, we need to apply the distributive property. Meaning ng distributive property, again, if you can still remember, si 2, i-multiply natin siya kay 4a at saka i-multiply din natin siya kay negative 8. Okay, so kopyahin natin yan. So, that's 2 times 4a minus 8 equals 24. Applying the distributive property, we have 2 times 4a, that is 8a. 2 times negative 8, that is negative 16, equals 24. Okay? And so remember what I told you in example number 1, that our main goal in solving linear equations is to isolate the variable in one side of the equation. So meaning, ang goal natin is si a na lang ang maiiwan dito. So, unahin natin etong si negative 16. Alisin muna natin si negative 16. And dahil ang operation niya in between a at saka negative 16 ay subtraction, ano? So, we can remove this by adding 16. So, magpa-plus 16 tayo. And That is addition property of equality. Kung nag-a-add tayo dito, mag-a-add din tayo dito sa kabilang side ng equation. And so that's plus 16 as well. Okay? So we have, eto magsi-0 na yan. Okay? So because negative 16 plus 16 is 0. So ang maiiwan na lang si 8a. Equals, we have 24 plus 16. Okay? So in one way, parang nag-transpose na rin tayo. Yung negative 16, binaliktad natin, transfer natin dito sa kabilang side. Yung negative, nagiging positive 16. Okay? They call that transposing. But that's actually applying the law of the property of addition or addition property of equality. Okay? So simplifying this, we have 8a equals 24 plus 16. That's 4 plus 6 is 10, carry 1. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 1, it's 4. So we have 40. Now again, dapat si A lang ang maiiwan. We still have 8. So the operation between 8 and A is multiplication. So we can remove 8 by dividing 8 as well. Okay? So magdi-divide tayo ng 8 dito. Okay? So para ma-cancel out yan, ma-remove na si 8 kasi 8 divided by 8 is 1. Okay, 1 times A is A. So si A na lang ang maiiwan. Kaya lang, that's applying multiplication property of equality. So whatever we divide here, we must also divide it here. Okay, dahil nag-divide tayo ng 8 dito, we must also divide 8 in the other side of the equation. And so that becomes A equals 40 divided by 8 is 5. So we have A equals 5. Now let's see if our answer is correct. So we do the checking. So dito ko na lang kasi andito man ang space So dito ko na lang ilalagay ang checking natin. Let's check. Let's go back to the original equation. We have 2 times 4a minus 8 equals 24. Is it really 24 when a equals 5? Let's do the substitution. So that's 2 times 4 times 5 minus 8. Is it really equal to 24? So we have 2 times 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, 20 minus 8. Is it equal to negative 24? So we have 2 times 20 minus 8 is 12. Okay. Is it equal to 24? 2 times 12 is 24. And so, this is really equal to 24. So our answer is correct.